All right, so now we're going to work on our market analyzer script. We're going to start off by saying constant exios require. So we're going to require our exios package, and this is going to allow us to fetch data from our API. So we're going to say constant technical indicators. So we're going to import our technical indicators from our technical indicators file. So we're going to say technical indicators. So we're going to require okay. So now that we've required our packages from the top of the file, we're going to create a new class, and this is going to be our market analyzer. So we're going to say this new class, we're going to say constructor. Okay, so we're going to say this dot coin gecko base URL. So this is going to be our base URL that we're going to be using to fetching in our APIs. So we're going to HTTP. So you guys have to remember that this API is totally free. You don't have to pay any subscription model. So it's perfect for this kind of project that we are doing. So here we're going to see our CoinGecko ID mapping. Okay, so we have a bunch of our cryptocurrency like BTC, Ethereum, BNB on CoinGecko API is going to be used differently. So where we're going to type Bitcoin, like BITCOIN, on our CoinGecko ID map is going to just be BTC. So we're going to have a default mapping of some of the top listed cryptocurrencies. So over here you can see my mapping. We're using BTC for Bitcoin, ETH for Ethereum, we have Solana, we have XRP. So all our cryptocurrency and their mappings is here. Okay. So now that we're done with that, we're going to work on our constants. So we're going to come down here. After we're done with our constructor, now we can work on our functions. So we're going to say async fetch price data symbol interval, and our interval is going to be 1 day. So we're fetching the price data of each cryptocurrency just for 1 day. I'm going to limit this to 30. So we're going to say console.log to give the user feedback on what we are currently doing. So we're going to say fetching limits for symbol, okay, from CoinGecko. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to do a try catch function. I'm going to say constant coin ID equals to this dot CoinGecko IDs, our symbol dot to upper case. All right, perfect. So now we're going to say if there's nothing in coin ID, we're going to tell the user console.error. We're going to tell the user coin gecko ID not found for that particular token. So over here we need to change this to this. Okay, perfect. Then we're also going to say console log and shows the user the supported symbols. Okay. Okay, perfect. Then we're going to return an empty array. So once we get the coin ID, we can now say constant response, and we're going to say await axios dot get. Coin Google base URL, and then we're going to say slash coins slash our coin ID, and we're going to say slash OHLC. Alright, so this is our base URL for our API. As you can see, we're currently using the base URL that we get from here, and then we're adding our coins and then our coin ID. And the coin ID is gotten from our mappings. So whenever the user gives us the particular cryptocurrency in their symbol, we are just going to get the mapping of this, okay? And then we're going to use this in our API to fetch the data, okay? Right, so after here, we can now say, put a comma and put some params. And we're going to state the currency we want to get this data in, and we want to get this data in US dollars, okay? And then after we do that, we're going to say days to our limit, so the amount of days we want to get it for. As you can see, our default limit here is 30. So if you're not adding anything to our parameters, we're just going to be using 30 as the default. You can increase this as much as you like, or you can reduce it in case you want a more recency bias on your data, okay? All right. So over here, we're going to say our timeout. And our timeout is going to be 15 seconds. So 15 seconds in milliseconds is 15,000. Alright, so once we're done with that, we're going to go down and we're going to say if we don't get any response in our data, or we don't get any response data.length, we're going to say console dot error, and we're going to say no price found for the symbol, okay? And then we're going to return an empty array, okay? So if we do get data in our response, we're going to console log that for the user, and we're going to say successfully fetched response.data.length price candles. Okay. Okay, so over here we're going to show the price range, and we're going to use a little mathematical calculation. Okay, so we're going to say math.mini. So we'll find the minimum number in this array. So that's what we're going to tell it. Response.data. And we're going to take it to fixed in 2 decimals. Okay. Okay, so after that, we're going to minus subtract it from mat.max. I don't know dollar sign here. And then we're going to take it to fixed two decimal places. Okay, so as we can see, we are getting an error here. So why do we have this error? We have our console log over here with our price range. Here we need to put an extra dollar sign. Fixed. Okay. Response.data.map C. We get C in 4 in our array. Then we're taking it to a fixed data spot of 2. Okay, we have an extra bracket here. Okay, perfect. All right. So now we're going to console log this and put it in a constant. So we're going to call that constant cleaned data. Okay, we're going to put a timestamp. I say can do. Then we're going to say open. Okay, so we have this set up, our cleaned data. So we're just presenting this data to the user. All right, so I'm going to redo this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, to fix to OCL thing to, all right. Okay, from coin gecko. Okay, If there's nothing data, console.log, data returned for coin ID. Okay. If there is, we're now going to return this bracket. Hope I've not. Okay. So now we're going to return our current price, data.usd, our change 24 hours, which is 0. It's not available in our simple API. So our change percent 24 hours data.usd 24-hour change, or 0 if there's nothing there. Then we're going to say high 24 hours, and then we're going to say low 24 hours. 0. Volume 24 hours data.usd 24-hour volume, or 0. I'm going to say market cap, so data.usd market cap 0. Then here we're going to say catch error. We're going to say console.log console.error coin could start failed for symbol. Okay, so we're going to have some smaller mini functions here. The first one is going to be calculate RSI. I'm going to have Now we're going to work on our calculating moving averages. You can say calculate moving averages. SMA 7 for 7 days. So this just calculates SMA for 7 days. So we're just going to duplicate this. It's going to be 50. It's going to be 20, 20, 50. Okay. So now we're going to say return our SMA 7, return our SMA 20, SMA 50, and our price versus SMA 7. Alright, so we're going to work on our calculate SMA function now. Okay. So we're going to say constant current starts equals to await this dot get current starts symbol. Okay. So now we're going to extract the closing prices for our indicator calculations. Okay. So we're going to say constant close prices equals to price data map candle close. Okay, candle close. All right, and then we're going to say constant RSI. This dot calculate RSI close prices. And MACD. This dot calculate MACD close prices. And constant BB. This dot calculate Bollinger Bands close prices. And then constant MA calculate moving averages close prices. Okay, so this is perfect now. And I'm going to say let analysis. It's going to be an empty array. I feel like we've missed a semicolon here, guys. Um, I'm trying to see if I can find it because my prettier is not working. We stopped in our price data. Price data equals away this fetch prices. Symbol 1 day, 30-day limit. Okay, we should be good here. Okay, so we have our market score equals to 0 and our let analysis be an empty object. So now we're going to be calculating some of our RSI points. So we're going to say if our RSI is less than 30, we're going to say constant points. We're going to say constant points equals to 20. Points. Oversold bullish signal. I'm just going to copy this and paste this here. I'm going to say going to be equals to minus 20. And here is going to be overbought. I'm going to say bearish signal. Strong sell signal. Okay. Here we're going to say else. If the RSI is greater than or equal to 45 and RSI is less than or equal to 55, we're going to say constant 0.5. Okay. And then we're going to say neutral. So RSI is going to be neutral between the 45 to 55 range. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing for our MACD histogram. Okay. We're going to say if our MACD dot histogram is greater than 0 and our MACD dot MACD is less than MACD dot signal, we're going to say constant point equals to minus 15, and then we're going to see the market score plus equals to point. I think I made a mistake here. So this is supposed to be 15 and this is supposed to be, okay, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to say else. Okay, histogram minus correct MACD this should be plus 15. This should be bullish momentum. This should be bullish momentum too. Okay, so over here, we're going to now say else 0 point no clear signal. Positive momentum. If we have 10 points, if it's greater than 5, we have a strong positive momentum. If it is greater than 0, we have a positive momentum. So the higher the number, the greater the momentum. And then if we have less than -5, we have a negative momentum. And anything greater than um, -10, we have a strong negative momentum. Okay, so we have a strong positive momentum here, and we're going to say else if. So let's say else if our change is less than -5. We're going to say constant points equals to -10. Okay, and we're going to have our market score increase with our points. In our analysis dot momentum, it's going to be a strong negative momentum. Okay, now we're just going to say else. Then here we're going to calculate our final score. So here we're going to return market score. I'm going to round up the number. All right, so we are done with our market analyzer, and now we are going to move on to our crypto analyzer. Okay.